That's great. Nope. Oh my fuck. Stretch. I'm seriously a lot of yawning. Yeah. A lot of yawning. Especially by the end of July, I should be in the land of eternal sun. Oh, you actually going to Arizona? Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking hell. Get the brain waking up here. Get some of that caffeine pumping for my brain. Oh my god, can we not yawn? Holy shit. Man. Looks like you might be without steady Wi-Fi for a while. Oh shit, so... Well, I mean, you know, at least we'll have, like, other forms of entertainment. It's not like that shit is the only fucking thing. Oh, camera just went out. Well, dude, the fact that you're just getting out is more important. At least it's inevitable. You got, like, what? A little over a month? Yeah, the end of July is mid-June. Yeah, about a month and a half. You don't got long at all now. What did I fucking tell you, by the way? Like, all this time. Like, what have I told you? You're gonna get the fuck out. And what do you know? That's a doubt yourself over here. Tucson, Arizona. That's where we're moving to? Tucson? Not Flagstaff? Steven Anderson's town. Tucson's big though, dude. Well, it's not like big, but I mean, Tucson, Arizona isn't like a tiny ass little town. I mean, let's realistically, what are the odds that you're going to like find someone that knows him or find his church? Chances are it's probably going to be minimal. Besides, if you see his church, just take a shit on his lawn or spray paint the church. I don't know. Give it a little touch up. Me and queer people organize protests. I guarantee you that those happen already as it is. I'm sure you could probably find a group that is willing to protest this shit. And it is Pride Month after all. Well, by the time July happens, it won't be anymore, but I bet you'll be able to. Like, actually, the Pride, like, festival slash parade that's happening in Portland is actually in mid-July. So it's not even remotely close on Pride Month. So there's that, at least, essentially. We got, You know, like a Pride Month that's like in mid-July, like well after the month itself is done. So, I mean, yeah, you can probably do it even after Pride Month and shit. I'm sure he already gets them occasionally. Whole another year to celebrate openly. Why stop at Pride Month? Like, I celebrate openly, like, throughout the fucking year. It's just that Pride Month, I'm just even more loud about it. I mean, that's the main difference. I'm more loud this time of the year in comparison to the rest of the year, but I still am. So we're allowed to be more open and socially more acceptable. It's already socially acceptable. I mean, it's just like, you know, like having it being acceptable and shit, you know, like is something that's been a thing for a while. It's just that Pride Month is still a thing, just because it's just like any other like festivity or, you know, or thing and shit. I mean, it's something that obviously people come together to, you know, take some time of the year to really kind of cultivate a lot of that celebration. Especially considering what Pride Month initially came from, which was literally a fucking fight, you know, with at Stonewall. So it's not like, you know, I mean, it doesn't have like that type of shit. Where being open can get you killed. And even then, I don't even really think that's as true as you think. Like, I mean, just being gay doesn't get you fucking lynched anymore. I mean, it's not like, you know, like, it's not like it's impossible or like some shit that ain't gonna not fucking happen or something, but like, the likelihood of this type of shit happening isn't like as fucking severe as people make it out to be. Like, I mean, just like some random gay person down the street is not going, is like, that's not as like likely going to happen in comparison to just like, you know, like at a full-on event like a drag queen story hour thing. These fools still live in objective fear. Well, cause cause it's a fucking shithole. And there's nothing, you know, of an outlet or stability that actually gives people a fucking sense of security. So what those, you know, inbred trailer trash fucks do, they scapegoat and use religion as kind of a way to fucking give a veneer justification as to why they want to scapegoat. Which happens to be trans people and shit. Or Hispanics. Or blacks, or pretty much fucking anybody else they happen to not like. But at the same time, those same trailer trash fucking inbred yokels aren't gonna barely do shit. They can barely fucking aim their goddamn 12 gauge because they're too jacked up on fucking, like, what is it now, Pabst Blue Ribbon? Because they don't drink Bud Light no more. I used to say Bud Light, but I can't really say that because it's all woke light now. So it's like, what is it, like Rainier, fucking PBR, what, Youngling, whatever the hell. Whichever they are drinking now, you know, it's like they're so jacked up on that shit, they can barely fucking aim for dick. It's like, so it's like, even if they were gonna try to do some stupid shit, they're gonna probably be too drunk to even fucking get shit, like, popped off. Because they're a bunch of drunk-ass redneck yokel fucks. Most of them are like that. Most bigots don't organize to the same level as, like, the Proud Boys or Patriot Prayer. Most of them just say their shit, and honestly, if they could get away with it, we'll probably beat your ass. Frankly, yeah. But, you know, it's like, at the end of the day, are they gonna go out of their way and organize some crazy shit? No. They're too lazy, they're too, you know, drunk on Yingling to fucking care about that. Like, they're having to survive on SSDI half the time, or just Social Security or something, or food stamps, you know, like, they're not, like, they can't organize that. It's not like, you know, like I said, there are, because I clarified that, you know, there are people that do. It's not like I'm saying they don't exist, by the way, because they most certainly do. They're just not as, like, all over the place and, like, in every corner like people think it is. It's just that you got like such a strong, cultural norm of that being more acceptable in the South in comparison to here. So obviously, I mean, I would live to some extent of fear. I mean, being down there, I would too, yeah. I mean, it's like I ain't invalidating it. I mean, because straight up, like, like there's, like legitimate, kind of a behind the, because for like every, like 10 fucking yokel fucks that aren't going to do shit, there is going to be like one or two that probably, could organize something. And sometimes that is all it kind of takes, just that one or two. At least for me, it wouldn't necessarily be like the majority of the fucking yokels out there. It'd be those few that could. Which obviously it's, like, meritable, like to make sure your shit's safe and, you ain't gonna, like, be secured and stuff. Sweet Bud Light. While at Walmart buying a Switch power cable for the fourth time in 6 months, I saw Bud Light flying off the shelves. People are still happily buying the shit beer. Of course they are. Because no one cares. That's what I mean, like, for all these, like, for, like, 10 yokel fucks, I mean, they will, like, freak out and complain and bitch, and probably, like, do their part for, like, a week or two, and then they're just gonna fuck off about it. That really is kind of, like, how a lot of them fucking operate. So once the yokels will get your last tweet. Anti-white aesthetics look fucking awesome then, and them making betas like you see is an epic bonus. This is distinctively anti-white aesthetic. Do they realize that this is a white chick who's like the second main character? Like, Gwen is literally white. I mean, huh? High budget Boondocks feel too. High budget Boondocks? Wow, the retweet though. The ratio though. Oh my god. Wow. My brain kind of is just really, wow. Just wanted to make you see a movie more. It's actually worth checking out. It's actually a good movie. I saw it last week. I mean, because, goddamn, I mean, honestly, like, I don't, like, honestly, the only reason why they're bitching about it is because, like, one of the main characters, Miles, is a black kid in Brooklyn. So it's just like, there's a lot of, like, tangential, like black culture that kind of comes from that, and at least, like, black American culture and shit, and literally just, like, because of that, like, how's that anti-white? That's just literally, like, a part of, like, African American, like culture and shit, is that you will see these different types of things, from, like, that are applied there, like, in the U.S. all over the place. It's not just New York, it's Portland, Seattle, like, it's everywhere. So it's like, how's that anti-white? That's not. What, just because, like, they're now finally having some more representation that's actually, like, tasteful and good, instead of, like, some early 2000s, like, oh, look at these game banger bullshit. I mean, so, honestly, it's just, like, it's not, like, it pertains a lot of that shit actually really well. I mean, because, like, there was nothing wrong with it. I literally was looking at the movie just thinking, cool. I like the aesthetics. I kind of like what's going on. I kind of like some of the background scenes and some of the sets that they kind of designed and shit. Like, honestly, it was a really cool fucking designed film. Like, a lot of that shit was, like, I thought, like, especially for the background scenes and, like, some of the, like, sets, basically, that they had for all the characters and shit. I don't want to say sets, but, like, the scenes in the background and shit. Like, it was done really well. I really loved, like, the different, like, stylistic choices that they made, like, because it would change every now and then. And honestly thought it was just, like, overall, stylistically fucking awesome. And it's like, and also, and by nature, how in the fuck is it anti-white? Like, you can make that type of same style white as much as anything else. God, I fucking hate these people, dude. Why do they have to, like, you know, overthink stupid shit like this? It's just like, I mean, it's like they basically will have, like, you know, just a total different group. Whether it's like black or Hispanic, it doesn't fucking matter. Just literally that isn't them. And it's like, oh, here, let's just, like, you know, tastefully and, like, you know, casually, like, you know, show that culture off, you know, to an extent. You know, and because of that, by proxy, that means, oh, it's anti-white, you know, to these fucking weirdos, man. Like, Jesus Christ. So damn stupid. Is there a reverse menstrual show? A reverse, I know. And this isn't the only thing they do it with. And it's just so fucking goddamn annoying to me. Hobgoblin was the mainstream villain until the show led him with the first villain. Want to talk about the 90s animated show? You kids don't know just how influential the 90s show was. I remember seeing that shit a little bit growing up. I mean, it was on reruns and stuff, you know, by the time I was growing up. It was still on, like, on air, you know, at least, like, on the TV stations and shit. I mean, come on. Like, you and I are not that far away in age difference, bro. I mean, come on. Carnage was heavily censored in that show because his comic book version was a brutal serial killer. I saw that shit as it aired originally. Well, yeah, you got me on that. But that doesn't mean I still haven't... Oh my god, never mind. Yeah, you're there to see, you know, actually, you know, be on air on TV, like, right when it aired. I mean, yeah, obviously. You got that on me, duh. But by the time I was growing up, that shit was still, like, on air. It's that, like, essentially just because it was on repeat. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if that show is still on, like, you know, one of the more obscure, like, cartoon channels or something. Because it got, like, the big three. And then there's, like, 2 or 3 others. I think one of them's, Warner Brother Network, if I remember correctly. I honestly don't know the names of those ones. I just know there, from what I remember, there's at least a few others. Usually we'll just, like, play a lot of the rerun animated cartoons and stuff from, like, the early 2000s or late 90s and 80s. Apparently some people thought Frank Herbert was homophobic for his portrayal of Vladimir. Now someone who's dead almost 20 years ago is homophobic. Stop the motherfucking presses! And also, like, is it even confirmed that Frank Herbert was homophobic? Or is it just, like, you know, maybe just because, you know, of a character in a book? You know, because if it's, like, if the only thing that can infer if he's homophobic is, like, one character in the book, you know, then I'm not too sure if I'm willing to say he is. I thought it was pretty clear it was supposed to be a reflection on how Greek aristocrats were. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even really think of him as, like, some sort of a homophobic trope character. I just saw him as, like, a very, like, legitimately, flamboyant fucking aristocratic elite fuck. You know, it's just, like, which is kind of like how a lot of Greek aristocrats were. So, I mean, honestly, I felt like it was more like that shit more than anything else. Can't judge, past people by the morals of today. Well, I mean, you can, but to think that, like, you know, that somehow will, like, invalidate, like, any work that they might have done that actually is good, you know, or something like that, like, you know, fucking, like, Frank Herbert, for example, or, Orson Welles, or, Orson Welles, George Orwell, Jesus Christ, well, Orson Welles, too, but, you know, George Orwell, this is who I was meaning, but, you know, like, these different names and shit, even Marx, you know, like Karl Marx, for example, it's just, like, that dude is straight up anti-Semitic as fuck, okay? Like, just straight up. But yet, like, it's very influential when it comes to leftist politics today. right? So it's just like, I mean, yeah, like, obviously, if we were to, like, straight up, like, judge, like, you know, people from the past, you know, by morals of today, you know, like, in a sense of, like, in its absolute, yeah, we wouldn't be, you know, like, reading up about past people and, you know, and shit. Or this Orville Redenbacher. Like it was someone racist and one just says this about it. Yeah, the whole idea of Liberia, like the Liberian colonies, which, you know, that, like, pretty much, like, you know, a part of that being established was basically, yeah, initially Lincoln's plan. Which, some of, you know, like, you know, his, you know, acolytes and shit, you know, eventually followed up with it, obviously. Which, you know, totally great. Because, you know, Liberia is just a bustling fucking, like, modern society right now. Because of, you know, America's colonization efforts. Absolutely. And is Harry Lincoln was one of us? Well, yeah, well, well, that's kind of my point, like, of what I'm talking about. Like, the thing is, like, you know, Zukov, what are you doing? What were you doing, bro? But, yeah, like, cause my thing is just, like, yeah, if we, you know, like, try to uphold, you know, to the same standards, you know, from today, from back then and shit, yeah, like, obviously, you know, we wouldn't be able to, like, I suppose, you know, in a sense, you know, like, that upholds, you know, like, a lot of their ideas or views and shit. At least when they were good. I'll stand by John Brown no matter what. You know, the dude was honestly, like, legitimately unhinged and crazy. I'm not saying that, like, it really was necessarily a bad thing, but, like, the reason why he was so radical about his ideas was because he literally was a Christian fanatic. Like, the dude was, like, arguably probably schizophrenic. I mean, I'm just being honest with that one. I mean, you know, because, like, he literally thought he was, like, a direct arm of God, you know, to liberate, you know, people from their chains and shit, which, like, obviously I don't got a problem with, but just saying, he literally was, like, a overt fundamentalist fanatic, you know, Christian type. At least for good reasons, I'd argue. But, you know, yeah, still. One time religion did a good thing. yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, one time a religion extremist, like, did something good for once. Zukov, oh my god, what are you doing? You're just trying to go after these little flies, are you? Same religious indoctrination you got. You don't need to have, like, religious indoctrination to uphold those views, though. I mean, there's plenty of people that like and agree with John Brown, but obviously aren't religious at all. Never heard of dumps or a fall for that shit. But should we just... Why not just, like, stop the cycle instead? Because, you know, to have, like, you know, religion interwoven into it, by its nature, fundamentally means that it's liable to be far-right and extremist. Like, it doesn't matter how much you, like, formulate, you know, an ability, there's always going to be people that are going to want to make their own elements of, you know, that type of faction of religion. Or else, like, you know... religions like Christianity and Islam would never have their schisms. So, like, I mean, no matter what, you're essentially guaranteeing there is going to be a violent schism, and they will fucking, you know, eventually, there will still be religious violence and extremism, and you'd basically be back to the same exact position that you tried to stop. So, you need to cut off the fucking cycle fundamentally. Religion cannot just be interwoven into any of this. Period. You need to cut it from its root. Butlerians are a prime example of this in Dune prequels. Yep. I keep skipping your messages, but it's like keeps like popping up right after you say something, so I'm just like, damn it, let me respond to this shit first, because we're having that quick convo. But, so I won't act like the prequel truly still have a false, but from what I saw, I felt like people were grasping a certain character motivation. My issue with one of them is that, in the X of Dune series, both sides of conflict were bad. But one was clearly worse than the other, like, no, fucking Butlerians are fucking insane. Yeah, I tend to agree. Like, the whole Butlerian, you know, jihad of the Butlerians and stuff were definitely fucking crazy. But they went way too far with it. Yeah, they literally had, like, basically, like, a religious extremist, like, reaction towards, you know, those type of, you know, ideas and that type of technology, and literally violently had a whole fucking war to destroy it. I'm on the machine side in that conflict. So, I mean, in a way, you agree with that, at least. Yeah, but, like, I mean, it's just, like, that's kind of the point. Like, when you have when you have religion, I mean, fundamentally, that is, you know, the enforcement and, if anything, the worship of religion and of tradition. I mean, that's essentially is what's going on. You're essentially having to establish, ritual of tradition and a upholding of tradition. That's not progress. That's not moving forward. That's, you know, staying stagnant. So it's just like, you know, to have religion interwoven into this, you know, by its very nature is to stagnate. And also to even potentially regress. Because obviously, like I said, there can be potential schisms where, you know, like, people would rather regress because of the fear of progress that technology may have. I'm not saying you are. They destroyed a damn hospital for using technology. Well, yeah, the Butlerian jihads, like, I mean, when it came to that, like, they did it for, like, pretty much fucking everything. Like, it literally was anything that was using that technology was liable for destruction. It didn't matter if it was actually genuinely helpful, like a hospital, or not. Saying the use of religious control more against let I can control things. Well, the problem, the thing is like what we're talking about, kind of the whole issue, and the whole problem with that, because, like, empires and kingdoms and shit do this. They have done this. Saudi Arabia does this now. Like, all sorts of countries, you know, kingdoms and, you know, worlds, like, in worldly empires and shit have done this forever. And guess what? It never works. We've already tried this. It was called feudalism. You know, kings and lords and shit. It doesn't work. The higher-ups and the elites had their, you know, were controlling everything while they let the religious institutions control the masses, and it was a horrible system. Like, I mean, we still kind of have that. It's just, like, extra steps added to it. So, I mean, it doesn't work. Last far along in capitalism as though. Which, what has capitalism evolved from? And the only reason why it lasted so long is because, like, mainly to, like, who controls all the armies and the knights and all that shit. Well, the lords and the, you know, and the kingdoms and shit, and the queens and the elites. Like, the peasantry, you know, are forcibly were, you know, kept impoverished and shit unless they, you know, united in as the masses, because that, you know, was the only way they could really actually retain power, is if the masses were able to organize enough to, and the peasantry were able to unite. And in a lot of ways, it was pretty hard, and, you know, at least for a long time, pretty much not impossible, because pretty much, like, the peasantry and the masses that you knew of was your village, and that was it. Like, that was pretty much it. You know, it took a long time for time to eventually, you know, for travel and communication to be a lot more expansive and a lot more easier accessible, especially towards peasants, you know, for that type of shit to really start gaining fruition. neo-feudalism that way. And it's just overall, like, I'm not in favor of it. I'm fundamentally against any form of idea that, you know, is basically regress. Like, this is honestly, I mean, idea of going back to regression, going back to old traditions. I mean, honestly, I mean, this is kind of what you're arguing for. It's like, let's just go back to feudalism because apparently it works because it's something we've had for so long. Well, sorry, bro, but just because we've had it for so long in comparison to everything else doesn't make it, one, good, better, or anything else. Like, regressing back to an older system, you know, or at least adopting that into a more modernized element, doesn't work. I mean, it's like, yeah, you wouldn't necessarily have kings and lords and shit, but what's, you know, it's just like, at the end of the day, like, I mean, how's that any different from, you know, like, politicians now and shit, right? I mean, it's like, I mean, we ain't really changing much. We're just kind of like, you know, basically making it more open that, yeah, we're just like feudalism with extra steps. Just making it more brazen. Democratic government, which does not have religion involved in it. Technocracy doesn't have like some sort of like, you know, like religious institutions controlling masses. Ooh. Oh my lord. Okay, that chair is really noisy with you in it. Okay, that's alright. That chair is so fucking noisy with you just in here. Oh my goodness, big ball. Look at you. Oh my god. Another pets. You goof. Look at you. Oh my lord. Oh, I can't fucking do it. It's just so cute. Ridiculous little ball. Oh my god. Religion will be used to keep the ignorant in line. What do you mean would be? Yeah, the thing is, like, the problem is, like, religion's it's already been tried to be used like that, and it does not, it just doesn't work. I mean, it's just a problem. Like, I mean, religion's always, you know, in a way, you know, it's like a tool in the use, you know, for higher-ups, including a lot of the religious institutional powers that be, to control masses. And that doesn't exactly work for the benefit of them or anyone else. Well, I mean, it does for them and essentially, you know, maximizes their power and profit, but beyond that, where's my charger? I think I left my charger in my room, actually. I'm gonna grab that one quick. Here, be right back. I didn't grab that charger. Damn it. Alright, well. What the hell did I put that son of a bitch? Well, what the fuck? Where did that motherfucker go? Well, shit. I hate when you fucking misplace shit. Meh. I'll be right up. Whatever. Ain't too big of a deal right now. Most religion benefits giving people Sundays, Saturdays off work, and even then you still got to shuffle in another building and then listen to someone ramble for 4 hours. Yeah. Better than having time to formulate. Okay, you also realize that religion does this too, right? Like, do you really trust, like, you know, religion to just, like, you know, keep people in line, you know, with the state? Because, of course not. In fact, plenty of, you know, different revolutions or coups and rebellions have happened because of, you know, religious masses being ignorant. Like, dude, this idea just ain't gonna work. It just won't. It's honestly how you know, it's like the first way of getting a religious theocracy. I mean, that's how you establish one. It's by letting the religious institutions have power. Like, that's literally what happened in Iran. So let's just say for heavy benefits. Yeah, the Crusades beg different stars. So, yeah, also the Crusades. Yeah, like, I mean, dude, it just like this idea just isn't gonna work. There's just way too much like historical precedent to just say otherwise. Like, literally, just history proves it. What are you doing, goober? They're too stupid to do it. Education. You have to fucking, you know, just have, you know, education be funded and actually properly invested in, like, standardized. Like, I mean, that's really, like, you know, that's really honestly like, because, I mean, fundamentally, like, obviously when it comes to the current population, yeah, you ain't gonna necessarily be able to, like, control them, but you can at least do so for people who are, you know, for the up-and-coming generations and shit. I don't remember my shot my pants in my other pants. Man. Well, obviously I thought wrong. What the fuck? Okay, this is actually kind of annoying. What in the titty go fuck? What in the titty go fuck? How in the hell am I, like, just now missing this fucking charger cord? Like, seriously. Because ain't there. What? Quick little gander for this shit. Yeah. Could be in my disco pocket. I'm just gonna fucking start checking literally everything now at this point. Like, what the fuck? Boo. Boo. No. Well, this is annoying. This is fat and annoying. You know, I bet it's probably just like in a really open spot too, and I just like set it somewhere last night before I went to bed, and I have just yet to like observe it just chilling there. That nope. I also thought maybe it might have been right there. Nope. I kind of need a sunk cost fallacy a little bit, so I'm gonna be on the hunt. I'm definitely holding some thoughts about this little conversation right now, because I do find this kind of interesting to say the least. Because I'm still seriously curious how in the fuck you don't make this whole fucking idea work. Like, honestly. Oh my god, it is over. Okay, I found it. That. I did fucking put it somewhere obscure. It was just around the corner. Oh my fucking god. Well, that was... I knew I just said it somewhere just stupidly. Oh my god, of course. It's... And you know what? Now I remember, like, right after I ended this, I went to take a piss outside, and I thought I put it in my pocket, and that's why I thought it was in my pants pocket. So, well, there we go. She'll tell us the priest will be destroyed to believe I'm doing action I'm about to be worth educating. Or pulling you aside to be indoctrinated into religious fanaticism further and to be more stunted in actual growth. Like, oh my god, dude, like, every time you, like, you know, something's mentioned, it's just literally, like, backfires immediately. They don't want to contemplate and actually consider viewpoints, they just want to hear the good, this bad. Yeah, that's the problem. You're never going to get that from priests or pastors or imams or anyone else. No matter what. Well, it doesn't work. The only way for that to happen is if you have a total theocracy. And religious higher-ups and heads are never going to be satisfied until they do. It doesn't matter. That system is just destined and set up to fail. Because, you know, the only thing that, you know, the heads of a religion want is religious power and political and total power and absolute power. So there's no way to maintain that shit. Like what, exploding microchips in their brain? Yeah. Like some sort of, like, you know, microchip that, like, forces a heart attack and they die. I mean, it's like, I mean, like, how do you do that? It's not a bad idea, actually. Well, yeah, you know, guess what? Like, you know, wait until the populace finds out that happened. Oh, yeah, that's definitely gonna make a state very, you know, that's gonna make, you know, religious heads and, you know, the fucking people loyal to his state. Yeah, again, this is literally destined and set up to fail. Like, I literally have no idea how this fucking system would work unless you just are basically establishing a total theocracy. Not the ignorant masses. Doesn't matter. You know how conspiracies spread. You know how, like, you know, cause especially if you have quote-unquote ignorant masses and you're purposely stunting them because of some weird biological essentialism because your premise is flawed from the very start about this in the first place. Like, I mean, you know, with that alone, you're not going to, like, you're not going to have people just be casually like, oh, well, that ain't on me, so whatever. They're gonna, you know, have their conspiratorial brains go crazy and think, oh, now they're, you know, gonna try to do this and establish this, you know, to the people. They're gonna do this, like, with the phones, the chips, and this and that, whatever the fuck. I mean, we already see that now. Don't think that, you know, would happen? Especially when it comes to religious mass. Because it absolutely would. Maybe don't turn traitor. Like, what does that even mean? Like, that doesn't, like, mean anything in this case. It's like, oh, turn traitor, what does that mean? Oh, I criticized the state once. I mean, it's like, dude, again, it's just set up to fail. There isn't really much to rebuke here because it's just literally just fundamentally, like, flawed in its nature. I firmly believe letting any small group of people control everything will lead to disaster, religion or no. Exactly. Like, no matter what, like, letting just, like, a small group of, you know, people rule everything, and then, you know, just thinking that, like, you know, religious institutional power will just be loyal to that, and just, like, keep people dumbed. It's like, that was called feudalism, and look how that turned out. And also, with a bunch of extra steps included, that's basically just like capitalism when you have, like, religion interwoven and bound in matrimony, like if America. So, it's just like, I mean, this shit, just by its nature, doesn't. It's just non-functional. Like, just in its nature, it just couldn't function. Likely nuclear diamonds will result in boom, or shutting our own set, or ordering a coup. Well, like, okay. But that's implying, you know, like, the hypothetical scenario of these things, you know, potentially happening in a state that this would be the case. And the thing is, like, would that even, you know, be possible considering that you literally have, like, elements of your own fucking government who are very likely to try to usurp and do a power takeover? Especially for the religious arm of your government, hypothetically. Like, that's the glaring problem. It's like the religious, you know, institutions and powers that be will be the ones to fucking do the coup in your hypothetical system and establish a full fundamental theocracy. So your whole, like, academia, scientists running everything would just be null and void anyway. Because then you would just have the religious institutions fucking, you know, running everything, and now you're back to square one. In fact, you're actually even farther back than that. You're not even back at square one, you're back, like, at square -8. Like, you're back, like, you know, that many squares, you're in the negative. It's like, whoa. I mean, so, it just literally would not work. Not their doctrine of loyalty. It's implying that they would. You're literally implying that, like, the religious, you know, higher-ups, which are basically just cult leaders, are going to be loyal to you? Oh, fuck no. No matter, like, they'll play ball just enough so they can gain enough power, so then they can take you over, then put your head on a pike, and then fucking crucify your body. And then, you know, proclaim, you know, the fucking religious state. Like, it ain't gonna fucking matter. That ain't gonna work. that is destined to fail. Preservation of state. Which, no, I'm not. You're ignoring the idea that there wouldn't be a schism. There wouldn't be, you know, different religious leaders in power that wanted to take control, you know, of the entire fucking religious institution, or the state that is. You're implying that there wouldn't be schisms. Like, yeah, I mean, there was, you know, the whole Protestant and Catholic schism and shit with Christianity, the Sunni and Shia schisms with Islam. Like, religion by its nature has this shit. By nature, religion will always have a schism of some sort, and they will literally kill each other and literally rip their insides out, you know, in order to fucking proclaim their real true God in text. It just wouldn't work. What it costs of the states to be abolished. Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on that side, frankly. And this is making me way more gung-ho for it. Overthrows world government. No, well, evidently not, because you keep, you know, like, putting this crazy hot take out here. Like, out of all the things that you say hot take or spicy take to, this is unironically a spicy fucking take. Okay? Like, I mean, because, what? Just to, like, because, I mean, you pretty much are at least describing just a more technocratic feudalism, but that just, again, wouldn't work. Because we just see how that, we see what happens with that. Nah. I mean, it already is called that. You know, Earth has multiple names, right? Xenos, Terra, Gaia, Earth. I mean, like, it's called multiple things. Because Earth literally means dirt. Yeah, because what's the most predominant thing on Earth that isn't water? Dirt. Yeah, we call dirt Earth because, well, it's Earth. Yeah, it comes from the planet Earth. Yeah. You know, Earth is, like, it can be defined as different things. Like, words can have multiple definitions. It could be a name for multiple things. It could be named for dirt or the actual planet itself. That translates something prettier than dirt. If anything, dirt translates from the planet that we're on, not the other way, not the other way around. Oh my god. Dirt sounds far more interesting. It's already called that. I mean, like, you know, people refer to planet Earth as different things depending on where you go around the world. So, hey, dude. Yeah, he just like walks away. He's like, "Oh, my bad."
Oh no! Now you want to go outside? Yeah.
Fucking goofy ass little dog.
Yeah. Now you want me to let you go into the great outdoors and run and scamper and play?
And Terra rolls off the. Zemlya means earth in Russian. Yeah, Zemlya. Or am I saying that right? Zemlya? Zemlya? But that sounds pretty fuck cool. Oh, I'm a human. You're not a human, you're a human. And you know, humans have different names. Oh my god. You realize that, like, things can have, like, different words, you know, to mean the same thing, right? like Homo sapiens, human, man, you know, like people, like these all, or you know, like person, these all refer to a human. Avocados, yeah, avocados. Earth is called Arde. That sounds cool. Arde. I like that. I mean, it's like Earth obviously just shows that there's like, you know, different fucking, you know, like names, you know, for one thing. Which obviously Earth is one of them. Humans are homos. What'd you call my sapien? They're homo sapiens. Oh my. Can we not? God damn it, dude. Like, dude, you, like, you need to, like, get re-educated or something when you go to Arizona. Oh my fucking god, because, fucking Christ, bro. Figure out how to keep these from all moving so much. Eating saltine crackers. Yeah, at least eating it with dip. No plain. Oh my. Are you just trying to make me cringe? What the hell's wrong with you? I don't know, dude. I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. If only I could it's just... If I could answer that, I would... Because evidently, I don't even think he fucking knows the answer to it. I don't know if he knows the answer to that shit. Love plain saltines. Oh my goodness. At least put some butter on them or something. Yeah, at least put something on them. I mean, shit. You gotta at least have, like, a little peanut butter. At least put, like, you know, a little slice of salami and cheese on there. With something. I keep 4 bags of it. Yeah, I can too, but you know what I do with them? I add shit to it, like some jam, like a salami thing, something. I add something to it. I mean, it's just like, I mean, peanut butters with Reese's. No, they're not. You're in, dude, okay, this is actually gonna make me mad. Stop. I made s'mores from saltines once. I mean, that works. I mean, it's not like the best substitute, but I mean, it works, so, you know. You literally hate peanut butter in most cases. What the? Stop. Oh my god. I'm actually triggered. I'm sitting here just being triggered. Almond butter, pistachio butter, it's something. Is that a helicopter or a motorcycle? Pretty sure it's like some military helicopter. What the fuck? It is. Huh. Let's see if I can see it. And stay here, buddy. Okay, he's following me. Whatever. Kind of flew off. Yeah, damn. Thing had some serious, like, thing was fucking thick. What's up, buddy? I can kind of still hear that helicopter off in the distance. Zukov, come on. Come on, buddy. What? Seriously? Is there a little rat in there? I think I hear a rat in there. Trying to fuck us with a rat? What the hell is this? Alright, what the hell are you? Where are you? What type of aircraft that we got going on here? Where the hell is it? Is it in the clouds? Yeah, it is. What the fuck? Can't even see it. Boo. I wanted to see what it was. I got just big bushy ass trees. Big bushy trees make it really hard. So much greenery. And these kiwis, dude. These kiwis are so ridiculous. Oh my god, it's starting to grow in the shed. No, don't go in the shed. Bad kiwi. Oh my Jesus Christ, this kiwi is actually... Damn! It's grew within the last like couple days and it's going in the shed. Like this is like from like a day or two ago. It was like right here, and this is from like 48 hours about. Gee, dude, these things grow ridiculously. And the kiwis haven't started growing or anything yet, though. Though there are kind of pluming up some flowers, though, so they are getting there. Oh yeah, here. There's some that are gonna be kiwis here. You kind of see those little kiwi, little baby kiwis. So they're getting there. But this used to be a little walkway, but now I can barely walk through here with my hat on. Because, Jesus Christ, there's so much greenery. Hey, Zooks, come here. Come on. Come on, bud. Come on, what are you doing? Being a little dork? Hey. Yeah, he knows there's a little rat around there. Yeah, he knows. What the fuck? Oh my god, dog. Are they actually going rat hunting? Are you? I think you... Yeah, I think that... Yeah, he is. You know what? No, fuck it. Let's see, well, I think that little guy ran off, bro. Is there something in here? You're looking at something, that's for sure. What do you got? I don't see anything in there, bro. He is sniffing. He is He is just, he knows there's something here. Or at least was. I don't know if I can be able to help you that much, bro. You silly thing. Yeah, you silly little goof. Come on. Come on, bud. Come on, Zooks. I don't think you're going to have any luck with this. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. Ugh. Oh. Oh. There we go. Silly doggo. Ugh. Whoop. Come on, bitch. How did that get fucking stuck? Wait, what? What's going on? Jesus looked like he'd be slain that. Wait, what? Huh? Like, what did I go back into chat to? Like, eh? Like, what the hell? V tastes awful to me. Have you tried any of the other V8 flavors? You know there's more than just one type of... What fucking hell? You know, there's like more than one type of V8 flavor and shit. Come on. Fucking dick. Please go up, please. Oh my god, I don't know. Saltine tastes what I'm at. Oh my. Why? Why? We will never pass venomous sheer degeneracy. I mean, no shit, dude. A peach mango V8? Oh, dude, I've never had that. I've never had this type of fucking V8, but dude, this shit looks pretty good. I'll try that. Yeah, the V8 juice blends are actually really good. I personally like the fruit punch one. Those ones are always pretty good. I guarantee he's gonna say no. I guarantee he's gonna say no. Because he's a fucking wacko. Knew it. Don't like peach flavor. What is wrong with you? Oh, I dare you, bitch. Yeah, that's right. Fuck! Lucky old bastard. You're officially banned from entering the state of Georgia, so if you try to do so at your own risk. Yeah. Like, yeah. Also, probably from Oregon, too, at this point. Applebee's is high dining free. Oh, my fucking Christ alive. Yeah, you know what Rose says? It's called raise those standards. Like, cause oh my god, you literally need to like actually have like bourgeois standards instead of whatever the fuck this is. Like, oh my god. And you can get, like, some dank, delicious, bushy, flavorful food. But a part of it is that you have to kind of, like, you know, do a lot of the prep and cook work yourself, you know, basically. Do you think we could go scuba dive into Mariana Trench to find venom standards? Actually, we might need to go deeper. Yeah, we might need to go to the core of the Earth. Like, the core of the Earth will need to be, like, dug in and fucking, like, you know, entered, and, like, enter its magma core to probably find that. And even then, I think we'd have to literally go to its absolute most center point of the Earth, you know, to truly get to that. How do we do that? I mean, I don't know, but we'll figure it out. But what do I even eat there? What? What do you... What? There's all sorts of shit you can eat there. Oh my... Can we please not just talk about food? Because this is making me mad. Fucking lol, where's the lamb sauce? Fucking dreadful. Fucking dreadful. Where's the lamb sauce? Oh. Just, dreadful, pitiful. Just fucking raw. Fucking raw. Dislike that by nature. Red Lobster has more than just seafood, bro. I mean, what self-respecting Southerner don't like mac and cheese? Yeah, I'm literally a Cascadian boy, and even I love that, you know, mac and cheese, dude. Like, everyone's gotta have, like, some fucking mac and cheese in their life. Like, seriously. Thanksgiving, Christmas staple, and a Southerner staple. Like, even we love it up here. Like, everyone loves that shit. I mean, it's like, well, dude. Doesn't have to be Kraft. Yeah, I mean, dude, fuck Kraft. If I'm making, like, boxed mac and cheese, I'm using Annie's. Because that shit's actually fire as fuck. So, that's at least me. I see why Venom hates aliens so much. He is one and wants to divert attention away from him. Yeah, that does make sense. This motherfucker is an alien, and he's doing a red herring and trying to, like, deflect the fact that he actually is an alien by, you know, fucking being, like, xenophobic as fuck towards other aliens. Because they're trying to get him back. They're, you know, he's like, you know, they're all like, E.T., phone home, come back. And he's all like, nah, fuck you guys, I like it here. For some reason. The galactic gaslighter. Dude, being galactically gaslit, dude. Like, that's a level of gaslit that no conservative could ever fucking achieve. Literally galactically getting gaslit by a fucking alien. Bullshit. You're definitely fanatic about that. What about sorbet? Dude, sorbets are great. And you know, dude, quit. At this point, it's just futile, dude. It's futile. Like, he's just gonna say no to everything because he's fucking, and he's a psychopathic alien. Like chocolate shakes. That doesn't count. Vanilla and chocolate, basic bitch flavors. Just trying to find something. Well, we found the only thing possible. Granola. That's it. And chocolate. Kind of, I guess. So, I mean... yeah. Like cherry soda. Oh my god, that's... You could put some healthy things in a chocolate shake, which he's never going to do. Unless someone did it for him, and he didn't know. That's probably the only way that's going to happen. What about actual cherries? Why? Dude. Have too strong a flavor? What? The fuck are you smoking? They don't have enough flavor in comparison to, like, cherry flavored shit? What the fuck you what? I'm laugh crying, dude. I'm not even capable of doing that right now. Like, I'm just like kind of too much in, like, fucking awe. Citrus and cherry should not mix. I can't even be pissed off anymore. I was initially, but now I just can't. Honestly, I'm just defeated. I just feel defeated. Like, this is literally how I feel now. I just... Cherry Sprite was good? Wait, so what's wrong with it now? I would love to see TJ react to his Venom's food taste. Yeah, if only TJ would do a live stream or something. Oh, I think he's on vacation right now. But, I mean, honestly, like, the next time, like, on Onion Nuggets, they do, like, some food-based thing, then you need to, like, you know, blare as much as in the chat your food tastes and just say how much you hate everything. I haven't seen Cherry Sprite in a year, and I've looked hard for it. Maybe they... You know what? You're right, actually. I don't... Now that I think about it, I mean... Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I actually have, unless it's in, like, a 12-pack form or something. Try online. Oh yeah, I guess probably. Well, he doesn't use Twitter anymore, so Instagram, I guess. His Discord. You got some rice on your nose, bro. Silly dog. So you little mullet. No need to watch this stuff. I'm not gonna eat or want to eat. Just use that as a way to trigger the fuck out of him, because why not? Fuck it. I want to see that, honestly. I want to see him get triggered. I honestly, like, unintentionally fucking, you know, got under Paul's goat because I didn't call him a true Irishman for not liking fucking potato pancakes. And TJ gaslit me and basically saying, like, oh, you know, he's saying you're dumb and this and that. And even though I didn't say Paul was that, I just said he wasn't a true Irishman. That was it. Like, you know, it's like basically just saying I'm more through Irish than he was. And he was just like, you know what? I see you. You're a chicken fan through and through. And I'm just like... and I was just like, motherfucker. I was just like, man, TJ, you asshole. Make sure I'm careful in the chat sense. Dude, that was like years ago. I don't really think they give that much shit at this point. And also, like, you know, they don't want to be affiliated with DP anymore. Like, I mean, because they're not. They're their own separate thing. I mean, so... I mean, I can understand why they don't want to have, like, old-ass memes from, like, 8 years ago. Or, like, 10 years ago at this point. Maybe try sodas from different countries. If you want a good orange soda, try Icelandic orange soda. It's called Apelsin. Shit is so fire. It is so much better than any orange soda here. And you can order it online. It's something you can buy. So, shit is good. Hey! Took off. Oh, wait, hey! What the fuck? There. Also, too, just call me super ass if his Pirate Space Society would have healthcare. Oh, I kind of remember that. I mean, wasn't that on like a Grease Trap? Or back when it was like the pre-post show? Because, oh my god, honestly, I love that little segment. I mean, but also it would be, like, what did he, like, besides that, like, did he say it was, like, kind of like, duh, there would be, or, like, or what, like, because honestly, I do kind of forget some of the detail on that. It's been a while. It's been a while since I thought about that, honestly. And also, I mean, you can't take anything they fucking say seriously or some shit. Like, you really cannot take it personally, like, at all. Like, because one, why? And two, you know, it's just... on Sky live stream. Well, yeah, dude, yeah, dude, I tell you the same fucking thing. Because, yeah... Because obviously it's because it proves my point. Yeah, it's agreeable, but it's called coded language and not being so blatantly open about it. Because it's not just, you know, like, you know, something that might, you know, affect you necessarily. That's where I spend him talking about his food taste or literally anything sexual. His food tastes. I don't give a fuck. Well, literally everyone else does. That, I mean, it's just like, that's the thing. I mean, there's plenty of things that I don't necessarily give a fuck about, but nonetheless, I, you know, still mind my P's and Q's of shit. I mean, I say it's like, what? I mean, I guess, but you can also just, like, you know, code things out a little bit. Because, I mean, like, because like I said, I mean, it's like, obviously it's not like people don't necessarily disagree with the point, but you have to, like, you know, code it in a way to where it's not just so blatantly obvious. I mean, this is honestly literally, like, you know, why the left never gets things done. It's because, like, it's just so LARPy and just so fucking, like, blatantly just, like, you know, not, you know, code or organized in a way that actually, you know, can get, you know, shit, you know, done in a cohesive manner. Like, everyone, you know, like, LARPs about, like, guillotine revolution, ooh-woo, and it's like that literally turns even other lefties off and shit. I mean, it's like, it's not like, you know, a lot of people, especially on the left, would, you know, disagree, but, I mean, there actually has to be something to it. I mean, it's why I don't always necessarily go off about it, even though I agree with it. Because it's what, you know, because there's certain ways to basically just kind of like, you know, fucking, you know, lead up to, you know, that type of shit. Preach civility. What is this about, like, what is anything I'm saying preach civility politics? I'm saying don't be LARPy with it. Like, there's a difference between, like, being civil or and being LARPy with it. Because it can still be pretty radical and stir the pot and shit and do a lot of good trouble and civil disobedience and even, you know, do a little bit of, like, you know, like, illegal disobedience and shit, and still, you know, and, like, have that shit coded in a way to where you can get people more on that type of side and shit. Because at the end of the day, you know, like, especially with how I feel about shit, like, yeah, I mean, I can easily, like, day in, day out call for, like, you know, like, for the proletariat to rise up, you know, and break their chains and fucking go revolution talk day in and day out. But, like, is that really going to be, like, winning a lot of people over just right off the bat? No. It's going to be honest with it, no. It doesn't. Like, there's a whole thing about, like, you know, rhetoric and, like, framing and shit when it comes to trying to, you know, push for a broader leftist, you know, idea, especially a very radical one that, like, I got. I mean, it's something that you have to essentially, like, you know, lead people to. It's not something that, you know, it's like, I mean, it's pretty much just like you could lead a horse raw, but you can't make him drink, so to speak. I mean, it's like you could lead him to those type of ideas, but if, you know, you can't necessarily, you know, make him drink the same type of radical water you do, but if you can at least lead him close enough to that type of shit, it's good, you know, sometimes about as good as it gets. Especially if you want to, like, you know, push for, you know, more, like, leftist future and shit. I mean, you do kind of have to, you know, at least, you know, rely to the broader normie base, you know, to, you know, get one over to those type of fucking issues. And to do so, you actually have to, like, organize, you know, especially rhetorically, about, like, how to push, you know, your messaging and your framework. You can't just go, like, revolution, guillotine, woo, and just, you know, hope people just, you know, convert to your side. And nothing about that, you know, pertains to civility politics. That just means, you know, be smart about your, you know, avocation about shit. Don't, you know, be, like, so, like, overtly blatant with it. In a sense to where, you know, it just turns people off. The thing is, like, there's been plenty of, like, normies that, yeah, at a certain point will, like, literally talk about, like, revolution talk to a certain extent, especially if they start bitching about the system enough. Calling it, yeah, because they are organized to a point where they have, you know, put their fucking framework, you know, into the more mainstream. Like, because they're actually organized and have coded their language, you know, enough, you know, to weasel their type of framework into the mainstream. That's what I'm talking about. Turnabout's fair. Not when you're literally, like, you know, not on the winning side of anything, and, you know, like, disorganized and not fucking, you know, like, having any ability to, like, you know, counteract that. Because the left doesn't. At all. It's not coded. Yeah, it was. They're open. Yeah. You want to know how they got to that point? Because of coded language and dog whistling. They didn't just, immediately, just pop off of that right off the bat out of nowhere. It took, multiple years of them to organize and cultivate this fucking movement. It's not just something that just, like, boop, popped out day one out of nowhere. It was something they organized and structured and used coded language to, get it more normalized, to use that language more openly, because, at that point, if you get a lot of different people who are more skeptical about what they're trying to fucking scapegoat and shit, then it's more easier to call for genocidal bullshit. It'll still turn people off, but, at least, makes it a little bit more easier to maybe convert some people to that. Because if, like, the right is able to do that type of organizational efforts, then why in the fuck can't, like, the left figure that type of, structure out? Because, like, obviously it is a possibility, and we could actually fucking do that for our, framework about, what we want to advocate and shit. But we literally, infight over random bullshit. Which is why, the left would lose over this type of shit, and why the turnabout ain't gonna fucking work. See, the weak will always falling for it. Bullshit. Like, I mean, just, like, the thing is, just because someone's, like, quote-unquote weak-willed doesn't mean that they can't change their mind or be strong-willed later. Like, people are capable of changing their minds. Like, you're just basically, implying that people are just incapable of, having their minds changed. Because that is just retardedly bullshit. Like, it's obvious, like, that people can change their minds over things. And just, like, literally disregarding pretty much most people just because, they might be susceptible, to an ideology you don't like and shit is stupid. It literally is just fucking stupid. Like, because that's how people cement into their fucking beliefs if you just disregard them just because they may, start falling for that shit. And you're like, yeah, fuck you. It's like that. Like, why do you think, like, the right has, done such a damage when it comes to, like, the left being called woke scolds or triggered little SJWs and shit? Because this is what it is. It's just, like, utterly, basically gatekeeping and disregarding people just because, like, you don't like the fact that they might fall for something or used to be a part of something that you don't like and shit. Like, that's what the whole 2015-16, like, anti-SJW bullshit was about. Just yeah, and you don't think that's, most people and shit, but you want to know how they do that? It's because of exposure. It's because, people over time, expose them to other ideas and usually challenge that shit. You want change? Again, bullshit. So, like, I mean, that's just not true. Like, I mean, the only reason why that is the case is because, like, there isn't actually, like, a movement, countering, that type of main, ideological push, on society. That's the main reason why. It's like the reason why people believe in a lot of this shit so much is because you have, like, literal, like, generations of, like, type of, normal, like, societal norms, being pushed. And a lot of that includes, being, critical about, queer, culture and shit. Or trans people and stuff. A lot of that, it plays a, major part of it. And when you have, like, right-wing fundamental extremists who use various different coded language from multiple generations of this type of normativity and shit, to be able to push a lot more of a bigoted movement, that's, like, how they organize, to get so influential with this shit. It's like, I mean, like, how in the fuck did, it's like, how in the fuck do, the, like, left challenge that shit? Well, they actually have to, like, organize on these things and actually fucking, have a proper retort against this type of shit. They can't just be like, oh, guilty, ooh, or disregard you and gatekeep and shit just over the slightest little thing. Preaching in car. I mean, am I, though? I mean, to some, sure. know these things, then how come, I mean, you'd rather disregard it then? And, quote, not care because most people are sheep. Like, that's kind of the problem about how, like, you know, a lot of these people cement into their ideology that obviously you want them to change away from. Most people are dumb. Not by choice. You realize that a lot of that type of shit is due to a lot of different circumstances. And I'm telling, who says you are the one who has to do it? It's not some fucking obligation on your part. Again, that's like another thing. It's like, since when is it like inherently an obligation? Like, not everyone obviously is cut out to try to, like, you know, have a conversation with people and like change their minds about certain shit, or at least, you know, a lot more, you know, act proactively. It's just like, you know, it's like for some people like me, that is, you know, something that, you know, more capable of doing, but not everyone is. And honestly, there's people who are way more capable of doing it better than me. So it's just like, I mean, and it's not an obligation. I feel responsibility to me to try. Well, sure, but it's like, you know, if there's like something that you're not necessarily in your strong suit, then either, you know, work to improve it, or, you know, focus on things that are your strong suits. Experience can be a better teacher than education. That too. Honestly, the reason why a lot of people eventually change their minds when it comes to bigotry and shit is literally due to experience and exposure from that. Not because of, you know, being taught, you know, something through, like, school or some shit. I mean, like, a lot of, you know, me being, like, super queer accepting and shit wasn't just because of my own sexuality, but was because of, you know, more predominant exposure to people who are non-binary and trans and shit, and having a little bit more of an understanding of, you know, more about, like, you know, this sexual spectrum and, you know, like, gender identity and shit. Because obviously, you know, when I was figuring out my own sexuality, I didn't realize, you know, even at that time, how really expansive it is. You know, and it took experience, you know, for the most part, you know, I mean, obviously some of it was education, but most of it was experience, you know, that, you know, taught me that shit. Plenty of people drink gay kids or trans. Yeah, you're still gonna get those fucking people, but, you know, for every one or two of those type of families, I mean, you, like, there's probably like 10 that, you know, do accept them. And still, this will change your stance to look at Dick Cheney's daughter despite the man's faults. I mean, yeah. Fortunately, most American people are pretty dumb. Well, yeah, and that's due to our fucking failed education system and due to indoctrination from multiple different spheres, from religious indoctrination to, like, this economic indoctrination of, like, you know, pushed up by bootstraps and other bullshit. Like, you know, like, American society is heavily, like, frankly stunted, yeah, and also heavily fucking indoctrinated in all sorts of fucking bullshit. And that's kind of, you know, the other challenge. It's like, I mean, it's not necessarily just right-wing extremism shit that you gotta break people out of, but it's also, like, these other factors, too. They have to kind of, like, prick holes in people's minds about, and so doubts, too. Because, I mean, a lot of the reason why this bigotry, you know, flourishes is because of a lot of those fucking variables, too. Especially when people are, you know, economically unstable and in poverty and shit. You know, that's when people start getting desperate. And in a lot of ways, they're trying to find, you know, someone to blame, so to speak. And they don't really see the real root of who's to actually blame in that situation. So someone who's a manipulative fuck will usually, with good enough charisma, or just, you know, just the sheer desperation factor, is able to convince that person to be like, no, it's the queers, or it's the immigrant, or it's this or that. It's the Jews, it's whatever the fuck else. Maybe we should give it an acceptable scapegoat. Well, the thing is, there is. I mean, the real scapegoats of, you know, the problems in the system and shit are there. We know who the fuck they are. You know, a lot of them are legit just capital owners, stock market shareholder fucks, and, you know, like, CEOs of, like, insurance companies and landlords. It's these fuckers. Like, we kind of know, like who these bitches are, but, you know, it's like, to actually try to, like, formulate a good retort with that stuff is hard because of a lot of the indoctrination these other things I'm talked about. Because not necessarily everyone's very critical of landlords to the point of like going mouse status, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you don't necessarily got a lot of people like that, even if they do critique landlords and shit. Some people just want to rein them in and shit. So it's just like, you have to kind of, kind of subvert that, a little bit and be like, okay, how about, we rein them in these other ways, like, by basically prioritizing other factors like public housing and shit, and basically make them more on the, back burner wayside, make them a lot less influential when it comes to housing and as a market. I mean, that's at least one way to fucking, curtail them and rein them in, right? So, I mean, it's at least something, and honestly, I'd be fine with that. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be totally satisfied until landlords as a concept is dealt with and gone. But nonetheless, I mean, that's a pretty good start, I'd argue. I mean, because we need to really fucking, you look at things like housing and shit as a major fucking, glaring problem that is really, a major issue. It's a lot of why we have things like homelessness, economic instability, fucking, drug addiction. And even people get into, crazy extreme political ideas and shit, whether it's from the far right or religiously or whatever the fuck. So, I mean, it's like, that plays a role as to, a major role, not just, house, but just in poverty and instability and that shit, overall. I mean, fundamentally, it plays a major role as to why, people, fall into the rabbit holes that they do. It's strong. That's why it's some though I believe shop anyway. Yeah, I mean, because I guarantee you, there's a lot of various arguments as to why, but it all just fundamentally pulls down to pull yourself by the bootstrap, bruh. Because it's just because that's pretty much what it comes down to, even though it's just all bullshit. Because at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of people can't just pull themselves out, from shit like that. It's at the very minimal, people need community. And then at the very, broader structure, I mean, there needs to be at least some sort of a basic governmental assistance to help people get back on their feet. Especially who's doing community organizing to help poor people. But works at work if only cared about money. It's pretty sick. Yeah, because a lot of it's based around that fucking for-profit, notion. The thing is, I'm sure, a lot of the people on the ground probably gave a shit like you did. But when it comes to organizations themselves, sadly not. And that's partly why, we see the same kind of fucking, reciprocal cycle. Because, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of them are write-offs. And honestly, up here in Portland, ain't no different. It literally ain't no different. In fact, it's actually pretty fucking brazen sometimes, and it's fucked. And, so many different, NIMBY types, just get all in a fucking uproar over it. And it, just because of this problem, and, oh my god, I don't even get me started, holy shit. That's what I know about my course, because I was focused on doing good work instead of grifting. So even some of you were wow, even some of the co-workers, were, okay, wow, well, never mind on what I was just saying from earlier, Jesus Christ. My lord. I mean, it just kind of proves, how, fucked it is, and like I said, why, people kind of delve into the rabbit holes, that they do. Because honestly, a lot of people I've seen who, are economically stable or homeless and shit, yeah, definitely got some quirky ideas and weird ideas and shit. I mean, some of them are honestly pretty, correct, frankly, I'd argue, but, just, have a little extra flavor of, conspiracy added to it, basically. Oh my god, those dogs are going nuts, and now my dog is going off. Hey, Zooks! Hey, Zookov! Chill out. Whoa! Hey! Oh, my goodness, Bubby.
What's up, buddy? Sorry, it's left so damn long on your freaking couch. Holy cow.
Oh, now you're all good. Oh, good shit.
Hold on, I'll talk to you in a minute. What's up, Zookers? Hello.
That's my part of it, since I was doing a help community. I was also to pay my bills for myself. Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, how, you know, the redistribution of, like, you know, community assistance, you know, kind of comes into. I mean, it's like, I do think, you know, people that, you know, work for these, you know, organizations that help people in poverty, I mean, I do think they should be paid and shit. I don't necessarily think it should just be volunteer work. So, you know, like, because I think, you know, if obviously people are, you know, working to help other people, you know, in the community and shit, I mean, obviously they should be, you know, helped themselves, you know, because that's the reason why they're doing it. I mean, to some extent. And it should at least be an obligation on those organizations to, you know, like, help, you know, and not just for the people that work for them, but also for the people in that community. Because that's literally the fucking point. Distributed relative towards people. I mean, I honestly don't even disagree with that. Especially these prosperity gospel churches. Here. Keep some music playing. You little trashy. Introduce a number of churches. Yeah, because there's literally fucking churches galore everywhere. Even up here in the PMW, even though not many people, you know, actively go to church often. I mean, it's just like, I mean, there's a shitload of them. And it's so ridiculous. There doesn't need to be so many fucking churches. Oh, my friend sent me a little something interesting. Oh shit, Cornell West switched from the People's Party to the Green Party. I guess he heard the criticisms and actually fucking switched parties. I kind of felt like he was being bamboozled. I feel like because I remember talking about this the other night, and not last night, but a couple nights back, and my guess was, like, I feel like he kind of got manipulated by, like, the party heads to think, oh yeah, this is totally good, ooh, bro. You know, because the People's Party are just a bunch of grifty fucks. And I think he heard the criticism about that and went, and kind of delved into it a little bit and went, oh. And realized, okay, this actually is more serious than I thought, and switched, you know, pretty much after that. At least, you know, from what my friend is saying, the article didn't specify if he ditched it or if he's trying to unify it. I'm pretty sure he probably ditched. But we suck at organizing and let petty stuff go. I mean, seriously. I mean, I was kind of talking about that earlier, you know, with Venom a little bit. Not that I'm not trying to call Venom out or anything necessarily. I'm just, like, you know, just kind of more speaking broadly, you know, when it came to, like, you know, just being not, like really smart when it comes to organization, or, like, kind of letting down the LARPy veneer, so to speak. Even if it isn't. But a lot of people consider that shit, you know, like, you know, when it comes to, like, ooh, revolution guillotines, bro, get the guns, ooh, ooh, you know, stuff like that. Like, a lot of people just straight to fucking see that as LARPy. I mean, like I said, I don't inherently disagree with it, but I don't go out of my way to go be blurting around about it. I mean, at least as leftists, because, I mean, yeah, it is a little LARPy, and plus it doesn't really go anywhere. I mean, that's kind of the thing. I mean, it's just like, obviously, it's like I have the raw emotional feel of it, but it's like, how do you harness that into something that can be very productive and actually get shit done? And that's where the organizing part gets into play. And also just dropping petty bullshit shit, too. Like, there needs to be at least, like, at maximum, like, a core 5 issues that, you know, broadly, like, every fucking, you know, sphere to the left need, you know, or at least as many spheres to the left need to just, like, focus on and just fuck everything else off. Like, honestly. Like, I mean, there just needs to be, like, a big 5, you know, that, you know, like, that needs to be focused on. And a part of that is, like, economic insecurity / you know, labor issues and shit. Healthcare, you know, revitalizing our infrastructure and transit systems. and divestment from the military, and then revitalizing our entire fossil fuel energy grid into a more renewable, sustainable energy grid. Big five right there. And honestly, like, as far as I'm concerned, pretty much every fucking lefty I've talked to, agrees of doing some way, shape, or form these issues and wants to do those. So, what the fuck? It's like we can at least, pick some major core thing, because, like I said, the right wing obviously is at least the extreme elements of them are capable of picking, like, their big issues and just hyper fucking focusing and organizing on those things. And, it's like, and they're able to have the influence that they have. So, why can't the left just do that for their shit? I mean, because, and, just like, dumb it down as a layman's sense, for pushing those type of fucking issues. Because it's possible. It's just that, but no one wants to actually try to organize that shit. I mean, the only thing I would say that is probably, like, the most, like, unified issue that lefties are, like, pushing, but nowhere near to the extent it needs to, is probably labor. Because, like, yeah, I mean, a lot of leftists are like, yeah, good, yeah, we got a strike going on here, or there's, like, a lot of labor stuff, and here's why it's good. Like, I mean, I hear a lot of that from pretty much every fucking lefty on any, fucking, like, sphere, even, like, on the tanky side of things. But it's just, like, it's not, like, a hyper fucking push focus of, like, shove this down people's fucking throat or something, It's, like, it's not, like, anything like that. I mean, which it kind of needs to a little bit, but that's not the only issue that needs to either. The thing is, like, a lot of that doesn't necessarily mean, like, social issues. I mean, if anything, I argue a lot of the first part, like, when it comes to economic instability, a lot of that is interwoven in social issues. So, because to help, people who are marginalized, especially if they happen to be, like, trans, or, an immigrant or a minority, and is marginalized, I mean, a part of what helps uplift them out of marginalization, especially, let's say, for example, for someone's trans who needs to get gender-affirming healthcare in our very for-profit, privatized healthcare system, they need money in order to get that gender-affirming care. What's the best way, at least concurrently, to do that, if they have a job? Better wages. Right, so it's like labor is interwoven and, helping people, trans people get gender-affirming care, at least in the states that, haven't fucking outlawed it. Which I understand that Illinois is actually the first state to, like, overtly ban, like, gender bans and shit like that. So for any trans people in the U.S. or near Illinois, go to Illinois. Sounds like they're being pretty based over there. At GovTech, because technological products inevitably makes life easier. Well, yeah, sure. But, I mean, I'd argue that, like, a technological process is, like, partly interwoven in social progress, because, like, a part of, advancement of technology also kind of by proxy means the advancement of, like, certain social progress, in some variables. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. I mean, the thing is, like, with any progress you have on issues, I mean, there's always going to be, like, a byproduct of social progress and, like, cultural progress that comes from that. Because those things are always ever shifting. So, I mean, it's just, because if anything, social progress tends to be kind of a byproduct in a lot of ways, or at least, like, various social issues that prop up, it tends to be kind of a byproduct of various different, material conditions, given the time. So, I mean, like, and even with, like, given those circumstances, it's just like, we still see social progress, despite, with all the other progress that, that might happen. Because, I mean, fundamentally, it's like, the future is always going to be progressive, even if it's, like, kind of slow chugging. Because sometimes, it is slow, but, I mean, the thing is, it's always going forward, and, like, it's always consistent with that. I mean, but, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a struggle. But, hey, I mean, when we would already be in, like, a nice, good old, like, chill, utopian, like, kind of alright world if it wasn't, so it's like, kind of need a little bit of that struggle with it. Hardens your character. Builds character and shit there, brother. Technology still progressing around from scouts just slower. Sure. We'd be into planetary by now, I've heard the joke. I'm not saying Dark Ages. I mean, I didn't go that far back, goddamn. This political tool, our politics are only allowed to be humanist, so churches are to be separate, and that includes political. Yeah, because that's the whole idea of at least being secular. Or at least, supposedly. Where'd a little fluff ball go? Where'd that little pup go? Oh, you're right there. Ugh. Ideally, should be a limit. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of what logic was saying. It's just like, yeah, it needs to be abolished, especially as a political tool, and just essentially just like thrown into the books of history. Because that's really what it should be. Can't force that, though. Well, yeah. I mean, because that's honestly like how you do cement these type of people further into that type of ideology. That's good. No, you can't. No guys jumped to. I mean, who is saying fucking shit? Oh my god. And just like I have another thing where like we get hyperbolic pretty quickly. Like no one jumped into genocide. Like what the hell? Like you inferred that. No one else did. Like, huh? I saw it coming. No. That wasn't even on my fucking mind. Yeah, you have to educate people young. Yeah, that's how. I mean, that's honestly how you can force it. But even then, I mean, you can't. That's not really forcing it. I mean, you're just educating young people who are not, you know, like who are not impressioned by that type of shit. So, using power against power won't work. Well, yeah. I mean, that's not like how that type of, you know, shit works. I mean, how I got my, you know, stuff away from religion was because of the power of religion, but also just due to the fact that I was educated young. You know, especially when it came to, like, things like, you know, basic science and shit. Like, oh yeah, the Earth is actually not 6,000 years old. It's actually fucking, you know, like millions and millions and millions, if not billions of years old. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, what, 4.6 billion years old or some shit? So it's like, you know, bitch, our Earth is old as fuck. Seeing the most extreme parts of religion in combination of atheist videos is what deconverted me. Yeah, I mean, that eventually helps too as well. I mean, you know, eventually at a certain point I discovered people like TJ and all that, you know, and other people, like when it came to like the whole like atheist sphere of content at a certain point. And that definitely got me more, you know, interwoven of like, oh yeah, religion actually is bullshit, and started making me at least, you know, think more critically about it. The guys are evil, then you seem like, oh, they're just trying to live their lives. Or it's just like, oh yeah, you'll go to hell for doing these sins. Oh wait, you know, like, the sins aren't even bad at all. There's nothing wrong with them. solution is like these potential communities across the world. Change is coming. Well, yeah. I mean, change will eventually happen. Like I said, the progress is always moving forward. At least in that system, they keep the shit themselves. Well, I mean, a lot of, at least Christianity is meant to, like, be in the closet. Don't, like, you know, be, you know, the fucking, you know, charlatan on the street, you know, boasting about, like, your faith and stuff. Like, there was a whole, like, passage in the Bible about it. So, I mean, it's, like, fundamentally just broadly, you know, something that, like, should be actually enforced, you know, when it comes to religion. It's like, hey, it literally says in your book to, like, you know, pray in the closet and shit, and not be, like, so, you know, boastful and shit, or prideful about it. Oh, it's like, no, I don't, yeah. It's like, no. God, no. Good little doggo. By some chance to become I don't figure out. Huh? And we do mean God, no! Yeah, just like, no! God! No! Where? Intentional community is the modern term for Marxist Epicurean communes. Huh. Actually, I haven't heard that term. But I kind of like it. It'd be some akin to Cubist, right? I mean, are you sure? There's literally like a whole episode about like one the Q, basically, who has done pretty much literally everything, and was like, I wish to die. And there's like literally a whole like, basically like a equivalent of like a whole court case about it, you know, in the episode. I mean, because the whole idea was basically to challenge, yeah, after it exists for how long? Pretty much since the very beginning and ends of time. Like, they could time travel, but like, they're basically like mega, like, uber, like, quantum gods. I mean, so, I mean, like, honestly, for all intents and purposes, like, they're infinity years old. For all intents and purposes. Hypothetically, they could probably even, you know, like, see what, like, it was before the fucking, you know, universe. If that even makes sense, you know, like before the Big Bang or whatever the fuck. Which, that'd be kind of a fucking trip. How would you even fucking comprehend that? Okay, my brain's hurting on thinking about that. We should, that's like, I know things seem bad now, but keep telling God to fuck off, and there's this magical place called Hell, and it's full of weed strippers, and you can eat shellfish and meat on Fridays. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I mean, you already sold me there. Let me do everything a few million times, and if I get bored, I'll tell you. Alright. If you look up, there's tons of them. They're killing it. Huh. they tend to not use the internet, so you can't find a lot. Yeah, it might be a little bit of a downgrade in my opinion, but I mean, I still kind of like the idea though. Stretchy stretch. Ugh. Pop up. You silly little baby, look at you. Oh, get the fly. Get it. You just stared at it, like you didn't even bother going after it. What the fuck? You're not on your A game, bro. Damn silly ass little goof. I was lost like the Christians once. This guy didn't think I was gonna go when I was harmful, but then I had a vision of less Satan under my heart. And you saved me, man. And for that, I'm always thankful. Yep. I pretty much have done the same thing. Yeah, for myself. It's just like, yeah, you know. I realized that, like, you know, it's like the whole idea of, it's like the whole idea of like, oh, all this like evil degeneracy, which is literally just cool shit. It's like it's all in hell and you're gonna burn fraternity. It's like, I'm pretty sure since they probably co-opted the OG hell, like I'm pretty sure it's probably chill and a vibe. And yeah, it might be a little warm and hot and stuffy, but you know, I mean, 'cause I'm used to it. I go to metal shows. I mean, it can be hot and stuffy and warm in there. How am I gonna kill this fucking fly? Damn it! Get this fly, Zooks! I think I might go for another reverse baptism. What do you think? I can never be too safe. You can never be too sure. What's going on? Are you okay? What? Oh my lord. Not as exciting as you think. All you do is roll in dirt like a cat. I mean, you know, hey. I figured it probably would have, honestly, but I feel like there's, like, different ways you could do that. I feel like someone probably trolled you with that one. I don't know if I don't think that's how the reverse baptism goes. At least not that I was aware of. Really? Man. I don't know, I mean, just at least from what I understood of it, maybe they've updated it since I've last heard about it. For me, Nasa, you only have a base in these... What? Alright. Venom Gone Postal. What? How do you do one then? You just basically bathe in the blood of lambs. I mean, it's you know, I mean, it's not as flattering either, but I mean, at least you can get baptized. It's just in the blood of lambs. You need a lot of lambs, you know, so there's a lot of lamb sacrifice going on for it. I like lambs. Well, I mean, you know how Satanists are. I guess, you know, you could substitute goats. You know, I mean, it's either lambs or goats. Probably, I mean, depending on what's going on. Depending on what's more abundant. Baby lamb is delicious. Lamb is actually good. Man, God's the only one wanting sacrifices. Well, yeah, I didn't make the rules. You stay away from those baby lambs. Yeah, what else baby lambs ever do to you? The aliens control it for me. Says the alien. Says the alien. The baby lambs will be fed directly to Rose. Oh my god. Rose, Ven is on a power chip. You might want to be careful. Feel the guilt. Oh. Oh, perfect candidate for sacrifice. Oh, look at that little guy. What a cute little candidate for sacrifice. Who cut y'all? I'll cut y'all. Damn. Damn. Okay, I'm just kind of playing around, honestly. I don't know about fucking Venom, though. I mean, he's on a power trip over here. Oh my god, a lamb murder and butcher? Jesus Christ, the whole nine? You horrible person. It's Jesus. Presidential lamb butcher. Oh my god. Hope the lambs come back as demons and bite you. Yeah, I was just, yeah, like, honestly, yeah, I was kind of joking about the baby lamb thing. We use goats, you know, for reverse baptisms, and then Venom's out here, really, like, unleashing his true fucking power. It's like, oh god. I have a taste tester. Source can poison me? What if he just like feeds the lambs, you know, stuff that would be poison? And thus, you know, no matter what, like, it always, you know, is poisonous. Ignore taste test for a minute. Which I was set at 50. Well, the damn. I mean, dude, that's actually an upgrade. Hell yeah. And plus, I just fat myself up on a bunch of lamb. Okay. Well, now you're starting to sell me a little bit. I don't know. Let me do a little bit back real quick here. Goats are evil. Goats. Oh my god. Oh, look at those little goats. They just said goats were evil. Goats aren't evil. Honestly, goats are cute. Christians. Oh. Oh, well, fair enough. Fuck Christians. I think these little fucking goats are evil, even though they're just cute little goats. They're just like simple ass little sweet little fucking little adorable little demons. That's all they are. Adorable little baby demons. We just need to get like a church, you know, like one of these big ass like prosperity gospel churches, and literally just have like an entire like herd. Like, I don't mean just like 50 of them. I mean like hundreds of just like little baby goats. Not even just baby goats, just like goats of all ages, just all in there, just like, and they all just like rush in and just like storm the place. And I just want to see the reactions of everybody. Because oh my god, that shit would be great. I'll read his last couple of comments and catch the last little bit of bull, but after that, I'm gonna go think my mama and chill for a little bit. Again, yeah, let's see what else to do for the day. Oh man, I know hope at the same time, so no selling those shenanigans. Well, the reason why they did that was because like they co-opted the laws and like basically decreed themselves both. Like I mean, there was like a whole thing about that. So I mean. It's a little bit more than just, like, they just did that. Well, they did, but, I mean, they took advantage of, like, the weak laws and, you know, rules and shit that were there, you know, to do so. So. But, anyway.
No.
Gonna see my mom and all that fun stuff, so.
No.
Peace out. And see y'all in that next one, so. Which will be later tonight, anyway.